Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the courtyard in downtown Skid Row at the Midnight Mission. The Midnight Mission is a homeless services organization that has been serving the Los Angeles community for over 108 years. It's one of the first and oldest nonprofits that has been focusing on homelessness since Los Angeles has been here. We're an organization that builds tools with people who are experiencing homelessness to create self-sufficiency and help them address the issues which cause their homelessness to begin with. We're very, very proud today to have Attorney General Rob Bonta here today to talk a little bit about his work, and he's going to spend the day volunteering with us. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Attorney General Bonta.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's wonderful to be in Los Angeles today. Good afternoon, everyone. Rob Bonta, California Attorney General, and a big thank you to Michael and his whole team, and thank you and congratulations to Midnight Mission for everything it has done for so long and for what it continues to do. And we're proud to be here today to lift up and highlight and illuminate their important work and to help them in that work with some volunteering today with me and my staff. And thank you for hosting us and again for all the vital work that you do. Midnight Mission is a lifeline for individuals experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles. As Michael just shared, this nonprofit serves thousands of people by providing recovery, by providing housing, by providing meals, education, and health services, a full gamut of critical services for those who are most vulnerable. Last year alone, Midnight Mission served over 845,000 meals and provided nearly 180,000 nights of shelter, collectively for this very important community. After this press conference, as I mentioned, I'm looking forward to volunteering with my Department of Justice staff in support of Midnight Mission's meal program. We're going to distribute meals to hundreds of individuals in need and very much look forward to that opportunity. We won't be alone in volunteering this holiday season. So many, thankfully, gratefully, throughout the state of California, step up and lean in to help their neighbors, their fellow community members, those in need. And Angelinos across all walks of life right now are generously contributing their time and donating funds to support vital charities like this one. These contributions can't be praised enough. I praise them. I'm grateful for them. They make a difference. They move the needle. They help people. They make lives better. In my role as AG, I visit nonprofits across California, and I often hear the same refrain. With more support, more people in need can be helped, can be served. And there is a lot of need this holiday season. With the pandemic and costs for everything, from housing to healthcare rising, here in Los Angeles County alone, more than 800,000 families struggle with food insecurity. At least 69,000 people experience homelessness nightly. So there is an incredible need, a sharp need, a dire need. And organizations like Midnight Mission, again, are critical in meeting that need. This holiday season, if you are able to donate to important causes, I encourage you to do so. Please be generous. Help your neighbor. That spirit, that instinct is the right one. Nonprofits across California need your support. But before quickly writing that check, pulling out that credit card or opening that PayPal app, make sure to protect yourself from those who might try to take advantage of your generosity, of that instinct that you have to give. That's why we're here today, to make sure that the donations that you wish to give get to the organization that you desire to have them and that they're used in the ways that you have intended. The California DOJ, in our role as the primary regulator and oversight body of charities in our state, we have 8 useful tips which we think every Californian can and should use to avoid being scammed while donating this holiday season. So here are those tips. Tip number 1, check the registration status of the charitable organization you are giving to. Charities are required to register with my office and file annual financial reports. Use our registry verification search. We have it right on our website at oag.ca.gov/donations. You can there ensure the charity is in good standing and up to date with its financial reporting requirements. Californians, you should not donate to a delinquent charity. A delinquent or suspended charity may not legally solicit or disperse charitable funds. So use our website, use that registry, make sure that you are only giving to charitable organizations in good standing. Tip number 2, give to organizations that you trust. Always do your research before donating. Review their website and annual financial reports to answer questions like, how much does this charity spend on overhead and employees? How much actually goes to support the mission that has led to you to donate to them? The amount can vary, but most charities spend at least 70% of their expenses directly on their programs, on their mission, on their services, according to Charity Navigator. So if an organization is spending less than that 70% on the mission, that should be a red flag and something that you should seriously consider. Tip number 3, don't be pressured by telemarketers. They can be providing you with high-pressure solicitations. Instead, ask them questions. Ask for the name of the charity. Ask if it's registered with my office. Ask how much your donation will go to the charity versus the telemarketer. A donor's contribution may go further if they simply donate directly to the charity without going through the telemarketer. Historical figures show that solicitation campaigns conducted by commercial fundraisers deliver to charities on average about 50% of the contribution raised, so that other 50% does not go to where you hope it will. Don't fall for pressure tactics or for threats. You have the right to reject a telemarketer's appeal. If you feel pressured, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel threatened, you can always just hang up. Tip 4, watch out for deceptive tactics. Make sure you're donating to the organization you intended. Some organizations use names that are closely in resemblance to and closely resemble those of well-established charities to mislead donors. And it can be very nuanced, very delicate, that difference. Take, for example, the American Red Cross of California. It sounds like the Red Cross. That might be a donation or an organization you might be inclined to donate to. But that was actually the name of a now defunct organization we ordered to cease and desist back in 2019 for misleading donors. Same goes for the American Cancer Foundation of Long Beach, the American Cancer Foundation of Long Beach, instead of the real Long Beach chapter of the Real American Cancer Society. So it's simple. Just make sure that when you donate, your gift is going to the organization you intended. It can just be a word or words difference, but those word or words can make all the difference when you make your donations. Similarly, and related to the tip number 4, tip number 5 is watch out for lookalikes. It's not just the organization's name that can be deceptive. Look out for fraudulent or misleading websites and email addresses too. Scammers often purchase similar looking URLs and create fake email accounts to trick potential donors into donating to a lookalike website or to steal your information. For example, you might want to give to unicef.org. There is, that would be unicef.org, but there's also a lookalike unicif.org where you would not want to donate because that's not your intended charitable organization. So avoid fake websites by closely looking at the web address. Tip 6, be wary of social network fundraising. We're all online, and unfortunately, scammers are right there with us. For example, this summer, an out-of-state man was sentenced to 5 years in prison for their role in scamming more than $400,000 from GoFundMe donors claiming to be collecting money for a homeless man. It was all a scam. So you need to be careful. If you see a solicitation in your newsfeed, take a moment, pause, give it some thought, do your research, make sure the charity or fundraiser is legitimate. Tip number 7, protect your identity when you are making charitable donations. You never need to give your social security number or other sensitive personal information when you're donating, and never give out credit card information to an unfamiliar organization. A scammer might say they need your social security number to make your donation tax deductible, or another deception or lie. They don't, so don't give it to them. Tip number 8, the final tip, be careful when making digital donations. A portable card reader, a QR code, or a fancy looking digital solicitation might look impressive, and it's definitely convenient, but remember, anyone can make a QR code, buy a portable card reader, and wear an organization's logo, send a text message, or make a graphic. So always confirm your donation is going to a real charity and confirm your receipt or credit card statement is accurate. So these are 8 tips. That was a lot, but we want to make sure, again, that the donations that you make with your big hearts during this holiday season go to the intended source, to the organization to serve those most vulnerable who are in need that you want to help. And I encourage all Angelenos, let me be absolutely clear, to give, to donate, to be generous, but to also use these tips when you're being generous and when you're donating. My office works every day to protect you from fraud and deception. Unfortunately, there is fraud and deception in the charitable giving space, so I want to make sure you are aware. Again, do your research before giving. If you believe a charity or fundraiser has acted in bad faith, please report it immediately to my office so we can take appropriate action. You can go to oag.ca.gov/charities/complaints to find us and let us know what you see out there that might be fraudulent. And for nonprofits who are seeking resources, best practices, and tips to avoid falling victim to scammers and fraudulent practices, please avail yourself of our guide for charities, which we have put out for your benefit. These holidays are all about generosity. Thank you to everyone who is able to donate their hard-earned money or their hard-earned or their valuable time this holiday season. Nonprofits like this one, like Midnight Mission, need your help, and your support makes all the difference. So again, thank you for being generous. As you give, please take steps to keep yourself safe, ensure you're not being scammed or defrauded. With that, thanks again for your presence. Happy holidays to all, and happy to take any questions that you might have.